Yeah, the bro flirting. Yeah.
Yeah, the bro flirting. And like girls do that too. We do that to each other too.
We kiss each other goodnight.
Yeah. Fellas, is it wrong to kiss the homies goodnight?
Beep.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of The Awkward Tea Party. As you can see, we are live and in person here. This is unfortunately not live because that technical aspect would have taken much more longer.
This took us like a full 25 minutes.
Yes, yeah, this took a while. We have a 2-camera setup. We have we tried to mess around with the lights here. I got the Max set up with the podcast mic that I brought, and I'm here using a Tascam. Hopefully this sounds good in terms of the audio and everything. But anyways, it's been a crazy few days, but it's also been a while since we've done a live in-person Awkward Tea Party podcast. We did we filmed like 4 episodes in one sitting.
Yeah.
So, but this is gonna be live and in person since I obviously am here in New Jersey at my Airbnb, visiting Maxine, spending time with her, and all the wholesome things. Yeah. I mean, Max has a couple things she wants to talk about. I have things I want to vent about.
Oh shit. Okay, you want to start with that?
Not really vent, but it's just like those of you guys who are gonna watch the vlog 2 years from now when it's edited. Under the stressful craziness that happened last week. So from just to give context for those of you guys who aren't following me on Instagram, you guys should be following me on Instagram because I practically share all the bullshit that's happening as well. So anyways, last week Friday, I went to go Vision Paradox. People went to go film a client up north. We're a LA based company, even though we all work remote. But when it comes time to go film, we go if they are willing to pay us to go there. But yeah, anyways, this particular client was in the Bay Area, and then after checking in and whatnot, overnight, literally hours before the shoot, my Prius's catalytic converter was stolen. And apparently those are very nice things to steal, like stealing someone's J's, and
it's those them precious metals, yo.
Yeah, and then so that sucked. So that happened when I woke up at 8, and I heard it because if you guys have ever driven a Prius, those are very quiet and nice. This sounded like a muscle car, 10 times louder than a muscle car. It hurt.
Sounded like a vintage friggin' Camaro.
Yeah, so it was terrible, and then took it to the mechanic. The mechanic said, and he straight up, the first thing before I even said anything was, catalytic converter? It's like, yeah. Wow. Motherfuckers. So he's been dealing, that mechanic had been dealing with it. Yeah.
Missing catalytic converters on Priuses.
Apparently a normal thing that's been happening. It's unfortunate. It's not just Priuses, but
Priusi. More hybrids and electrics.
Yeah, so in general. In just the area.
Oh, wow.
They said people are in the habit of just breaking through the windows and just jacking your shit in broad daylight. People, it's happening to them at tourist spots. They did it, someone went to go visit Golden Gate Bridge. Mm-hmm. Someone broke through the window and jacked their stuff. Broad daylight.
Damn.
Yeah, so fuck.
That damn Bay Area. What the fuck?
So yeah, and it was kind of insane weekend because what happened is I brought it Saturday and it's a weekend, mm-hmm. and a lot of the shops are closed. And when he says I can't order the part because it's a weekend, so I had to wait until Monday. And then but we were supposed to be gone by Sunday, so it just put a delay on everything. And then Monday, called them, took forever just to get things. I feel it just felt like forever just to get things going. Called insurance, did everything they apparently they couldn't do it. Just the process was annoying. I was hoping to have it handled by Monday, but insurance said we can earliest we can send someone is Monday. Tuesday. So Tuesday. Put another So then that put another delay on the whole thing. So I was in a rush. I was losing my patience. So on Monday, that's same day. That's when the insurance told me. I called the mechanic. I said let's just go with a third. I had 2 options. I could either go with the dealership and they would give it, or they can get it as a third party, and then which would be cheaper. But also, if I use that third party part, it can't be insured because it's not from the dealership. So but I was just in a time crunch. I wanted to get out as soon as possible. Then luckily by the end of the day, insurance said like it's good to go, so it was ready to be repaired the following day on Tuesday. Got a call the following day, Tuesday, saying that majority of the shops throughout the Bay Area had no catalytic converters and was back ordered for another week. So it's either wait another week or I get the third party part. So eventually all roads went to aftermarket. So I was like, and I talked it over with my insurance. I was like, yeah, if it happens again, we can't cover it. So I was like, fuck. But I had no choice. Because if I waited another week, I wouldn't be here right now. Yeah. And then shouts out to Joey and for sticking it through. Joey's our videographer from Vision Paradox. For sticking through with everything that happened. That was some real homie shit. And same thing with Noelle. I know you had to go back home for work as well, and I'm glad you were able to.
I'm a sugar child.
I'm glad you're able to figure out a way back home without breaking the bank, so to speak. And you guys are still getting paid, you motherfuckers. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Just and then literally right when I got home, went to sleep, woke up, packed, came, and now I'm
Airport,
here. Yeah,
now here.
It's just like a lot of sitting and traveling, and
then we loitered for like a full 8 hours.
And then when we got here, like when I got here, like my Airbnb wasn't even ready for until 8, and I arrived at 7. Yeah,
7 a.m.
Yeah, so we hung out, but I was just exhausted. I was not rested.
Tired.
I was sleeping like everywhere we went.
Well, yeah, that's why I was just like, yeah, we're gonna call this a night. Like it was like early. We just had dinner at like a bar like 5 minutes from my house, and you were like, oh, you gonna hang out a little bit more, or do you call it a night? I'm like, you're tired, we're calling it a night.
Yeah, I was like, I'm up for more hanging out, and then knocked out so quick. Yeah, it was just a crazy day, but I'm here. We get to spend time with Max and get to create some live content for you guys. So sorry for those of you guys who watch my stream. I'm probably gonna make a separate video tonight for that. I'm not streaming for the rest of the month because it has just been stressful because you're just trying to
Pride month off.
You have to take Pride month off.
Do it for the gays.
Because it's it's crazy figuring out the technicality on that. I don't think my laptop's gonna handle that as well. So we're gonna hold back on that, but we'll be continuing everything back in.
Yeah. Also, there's you did a 24-hour stream like before this.
That actually.
So you have plenty of content.
If we go to the same schedule now, we're gonna be set until if I edit everything, it'd be set probably till the first quarter of next year. See. So there's a lot of content. Same thing with temper tantrum stuff. Oh my god! Oh yeah. By the way, shouts out to everyone who supported the Patreon and the 24-hour stream. Neff, what do you call it?
Mod Jax, Squad, what up?
Levi, and Mariah, Iona, Mars. Who else is there? Raf, Sese, and Melanie, and B-Rock. And shouts out to everyone on Temper Tantrum who also watched. Where my rockers at? Yeah, if you were on the 24-hour stream, you wouldn't just. Yeah, it's
an inside joke.
Yeah, it's in the. You wouldn't understand. The 24-hour stream is probably gone by now, so watch it. Watch the replay on my Patreon.
Oh, and also like you still need to finish Resi 8.
Oh yeah, I'm only like.
You haven't even been choked and touched by a big booba lady yet.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna upload the VOD for that or like an edited version of that on this channel. Yeah. Just to see how it works and to probably have another type of content, even though it's like
me essentially calling you a little bitch.
So yeah,
because
it's weird because majority of my content is dance content. Yeah. So I'm debating whether, and that's why I had
make it a variety channel.
I mean, that's why I originally had like
a vlog channel.
I created a vlog channel. Well, that one's working out for me in terms of keeping things organized because I'm not like looking through everything. Like, oh, I want to see what happened in 2018. I'm not trying to look through all the videos. Yeah. So that works in that sense. And we also used to have the Vision Paradox social media marketing tutorials on there. So it's just like it was a lot of evergreen content. But I don't know. I do think of making it into a variety. Doing whatever other things, but we'll see how it is when I upload the first video, because there's also Emeroy verses as well.
Oh yeah,
so that needs to be edited.
Ooh,
but anyways,
that first one's fun.
Yeah. So what about you? I know you had some topics you shot to me on the way.
Yeah, it was one of those days I got like kind of stoned, and
kind of stoned.
I was kind of stoned, and the things I think about when I'm stoned are either food or like art. Or sometimes topics like the way society views women's bodies.
Oh man.
Which I think is shitty because like right now even like I'm looking at myself in the monitor. I'm not even looking directly at either of these cameras. I am looking at myself in the monitor because I'm like, oh, my arm looks fat.
Oh my god.
Because
You're hot.
Shut up.
I love you.
This is gonna be one. Sean's gonna be like, it's just still you shooting your shot.
Forever shooting my shot.
Shooting your shot with your own girlfriend.
You should always be shooting your shot for your own girlfriend, for your SO, SAO, Sword Art Online. It's a weird anime.
Anyway, but yeah, because you know, I was actually kind of looking through the photos from Billie Eilish's Vogue photo shoot with like all of these different corsets and like these like blush tones, and then there was that black one, and it was just like, you know, like aesthetically it was just like so super nice. But like obviously this whole, you know, like fucking, because we live in a society, people were like, she's a hypocrite.
Like
she's 18 now, but before this, she's 18 or 19 now. Like I don't know, 20.
She's 18. And like the minute it's one of those like cases 18. Of like, yeah.
So she turned 18, and then, you know, like she didn't just turn 18 and then do the shoot. Like, and she was still kind of dressed as her, but like she's not actively covering herself up anymore. Because before, when she was younger, when she started performing and then she started growing, you know, people were noticing her body. Because like before, she'd still wear like the baggy stuff, but like she'll probably wear like a shirt that's like baggier than this but open, and then the wind will let the shirt fly, and then she's wearing a tank top revealing the shape of her body, and people started to be like, "Ooh, that's what she got all under there."
Oh god.
So now she's like, "Well, fuck it, just layers, baggy, everything." And then it turned into a whole aesthetic, and everybody's doing it, and thank God she started doing it because I gained weight. And it's cool to wear baggy clothes again.
I don't know any guys wearing it. I think it's like become a trend for girls to do,
girls, yeah.
for women to do.
It's for girls and a lot of skinny dudes.
Yeah, I could see that, because I think I'm a recovering baggy clothes.
And it's also like really good for non-binary people.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So especially the ones that, you know, were born female and have like the feminine features like breasts and like, you know, the nice waistline that they don't want to reveal. It's just like, all right, just stick that shit on, man. Like, you know, will they bind? Maybe, but it hides whatever they don't want to see. Yeah. Like especially the ones that like go through some sort of dysmorphia in a sense. But yeah, so back to Billie Eilish. So yeah, you know, people were like, "Oh, she's such a hypocrite," and I'm like, okay, when she was 17 and under, y'all told her she was a prude for trying to hide her body and blah 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 blah. Now that she's 18, an adult, she did one photo shoot with, you know, this like old Hollywood vibe type of
very like like,
and then, you know, and
like
then
1920s is inspired,
and then she reverted back to her natural hair color, which is blonde, and like it goes with her blue eyes, and everyone's like, well, she's just like every other girl now. She's like, she's always been like every other girl, because there's no such thing as not like other girls. Shut the fuck up, you fucking pick me girl. Just heated. Ooh. But yeah, like, you know, people are just like, well, it's just like every other girl now. She's just a hypocrite, blah blah blah. I'm like, she did one photo shoot, and it's not like she was dressed. I mean, did she agree to the concept? Sure, of course. Let's just assume that. Did she want, you know, she agreed to the concept? She agreed to the hair and makeup and everything, like with everything she does. She doesn't normally walk around and perform in a corset. Yeah. She's always still just be like, you know, in a t-shirt.
I think I remember hearing, I think it was Philip DeFranco, his argument, or like what she heard, the argument that he heard from reading that, I think, was that it was kind of like to take ownership before like other people start trying to take those photos, you know, secondhand from like paparazzi. She did that to like, I'm gonna own those moments before you get to take that away from me.
She did it on her terms. It's like, oh, y'all want a lingerie shoot? Like y'all want to see me like, you know, slip up in lingerie, in a bikini, whatever. Here's corsets.
It's that weird thing though, like of
and they're gonna look so much better than every other like paparazzi shot.
You know, when the teenage girls finally turn into adults, quote unquote, like, oh, was it Bad Baby when the minute she turned 18 and she started OnlyFans?
And the OnlyFans,
and then people went crazy over that.
Yeah, and people, and you know, and it's like, I don't know what the content is on that OnlyFans. It makes me question, because like she basically, that went up when she turned 18. Like the minute she turned 18, it went up.
Yeah, no, I mean, nothing wrong with OnlyFans. Go get your money. Mm-hmm. But it's just like the perception of...
How old was she when she took those photos?
Oh, that too.
I don't know. I don't know the format of her OnlyFans. Like, I don't know if she did like a full on like couple, like, you know, what a lot of content creators do. Batch film, batch shoot a bunch of content, and then batch upload, and so they can still live their lives while shit is being uploaded to their channels, whatever that is. So like, I wonder if she took those photos while she was still 17.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Or they're just kind of like similar, like Tana Mojo or whatever, that she, or like Trisha Paytas sometimes, when they would just, you know, just take something on a whim and upload it. And then there's some produced ones that take a while, but like there's still like naked boop or whatever. So I don't know, but like I don't want to know. And I also don't want to know. But, and there was also on the other end of the spectrum, there's JoJo Siwa, who is now an adult. She's like 18, 19 or whatever. And you know, she started wearing her hair down, thank God. For good for her hairline. She started wearing her hair down, and like, you know, it's kind of like slowly distancing herself from the high ponytail and bow type of thing. But I think she's still gonna keep doing that to perform, if she still wants to keep performing as this brand of JoJo Siwa. Yeah. And I mean, like, you know, she's genuinely like very wholesome. She's like, you know, she's just a really good person, and like, you know, I'm happy she exists. And then there's the whole opposite spectrum of calling Billie Eilish a prude before and now a whore, and JoJo Siwa, who's stayed constant wearing like fucking bedazzled tracksuits. Some of them are like Gucci, some of them are like custom made for her, that are more expensive than anybody's rent. Oh yeah. Like, these people are just like, stop dressing like you're 10. I'm like, first of all, she's a grown adult. She knows exactly where the money is made and how the money is being made. Those bows made her the money. She's gonna keep fucking wearing those. And also, come back to her when you can afford a single tracksuit she's wearing.
Oh yeah,
because her tracksuit is more than your rent.
It's a classic case of people just no. Yeah, thank you, baby. It's a classic case of someone like who, like, just people criticizing or talking shit on the sidelines when they're not in themselves in it. Yeah. Or like, and it's people's lifestyle choices too.
Yeah, and like you're not her mom.
Yeah, leave them the fuck alone. It's not you. It's not your life. No one's telling you how to raise your kids. I mean, the minute you try to tell someone how to do that, they're gonna be like, "It's my kid, not yours." Yeah, or true. Like it's the same thing with their own life choices. I mean, as long as they're not killing anyone, fucking trying to spread hate or anything, it's like
she's spreading the opposite of hate.
Yeah, she's actually trying to be a positive impact on like the future generations, and I think and
it's kind of refreshing to see someone that young still embrace the fact that they're still young. Like, you see, like, you know, the second somebody turns 14, and I'm not shaming them, they can do whatever the fuck they want as long as their parents let them, you know, to a point. But like, you know, 14-year-old wearing like fucking shorts that are like this short, but also it's not their fault because fucking clothing companies only sell shorts for girls this short. So it's not like they have a choice. But if they want to wear that, they can wear that. Just, you know, and then you're saying that these little girls are dressing slutty. It's because you're looking at it through that lens.
For what little girls, like
young girls, like, you know, 14-year-olds, like, you know, when they like burgeoning women or whatever, like, you're looking at them and you're like, well, that looks slutty. It looks slutty because you're looking at it in a sexual lens.
What about like the
whole? It's just a cute outfit.
What about in terms of the dance studios though, when they dress those kids up, like, and they're doing like those? I have a problem with the sexy choreography like that on
with
kids.
The costumes, I'm a little like, you know what? Like, just don't look at it that way. Fine. But when it comes to the choreo, there's a line between it still being kind of cute. It's like kind of cheeky, but also there's another. It kind of crosses the line into this is a bit much. Yeah, this is much. Abby Lee Miller.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't have much to say. It's not my body. I've always been of the mind of like,
do whatever you want.
Do it. Yeah, even for me, I like autonomy, like, and I have a problem with authority. I feel like,
you know, like so it always feels like women or any like female identifying people kind of just lose autonomy over their bodies through the years. Like even when they were children, it's like, you know, when you have a creepy relative or like, you know, it's like puts it like, you know, put a bra on because your uncle so-and-so's coming. Yeah. It's like, then uncle so-and-so shouldn't be coming over. Yeah. If I have to put a bra on. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that I do not have a creepy uncle.
But there's
but like families like that, and it's
telling
not
the
it's not
girls-
even an uncle. It could it's not even a blood related uncle. It could be a family friend or whatever.
Yeah, like telling the girls to modify themselves.
The whole
So the
bare
whole
shoulders
world-
at school
yeah.
thing.
I think it's fucking stupid. And that's why I like the autonomy of like, man, just let them fucking be themselves. Like learn. And if someone else has a problem with it, maybe you should fucking get that looked at. So that
Right.
you need to go to therapy and get some help handling that if you cannot handle an external thing from influencing your own fucking
Yeah, I mean,
self.
there's a line. Like if someone walks into school in a fucking bikini and only a bikini, then no, they go home, put a t-shirt on them. Yeah. But if they are actually clothed, they are fully clothed. Like, I don't think there should be a problem with bare shoulders, especially when, like, with climate change, summers are getting hotter. Mm-hmm. Spring is getting hotter. And, these kids are still in school. Some of these kids, depending on the school district, their air conditioning might not work that well. Mm-hmm. So, and they walk probably to school. It is hot. Yeah. What are they no, stop putting sweaters on these girls. Like, they're fine. They're not naked. And if teachers, especially the teachers, because they are grown adults and should be able to control themselves, are getting distracted over a girl's shoulders and maybe a hint of cleavage, that's the problem. They are the problem. If boys in the class are getting distracted, well, then maybe this is time to teach them a lesson. Not to be like, oh, they can't control themselves, so you cover up. It's like, no. This is where you come in.
It's really putting up a band-aid to the problem because they're just going to have those urges later on.
Mm-hmm. And, and then this kind of, it starts from there,
instead of
from the
teaching
home
them
to the school, and then and then someone gets assaulted, someone gets catcalled, someone, whatever. And then it's, what were you wearing? Not an issue. It's been proven before. Like, there was somebody that literally posted a picture of what they were wearing. They were wearing a giant winter. This was in New York in the winter. Giant winter coat. It was like blizzard conditions. So like her coat went down to here. And it wasn't like a short, like puffy jacket, like cute one. It was like right here. Like she was completely covered up with like layers. It was like leggings inside her pants, layers. And with like long ass socks too. And, and they were like, this is what I was wearing. Yet it still happened. It was never what they were wearing. It was always about a woman's body is not has never been respected in the society since probably ever.
for a long time.
For a long time. I mean, I heard, Viking women are highly regarded, and I wish I was a Viking woman.
At that age, when they start even having instead of having to correct the girls, teach the boys.
Or teach them both.
Both. That's true.
Teach them both. Teach a girl how to defend herself. Teach a girl to, maybe dress accordingly, but not shame them into it. And it's hey, maybe a bit much.
And then maybe educate them, maybe the potential dangers from it.
Yeah.
What to do. I know people that have experienced it and they didn't know. There's a lot of stories of that. They didn't know what to do because they didn't feel like they're going to be believed. It's almost the whole victim blaming thing. So it's like,
yeah, I was told I was in the wrong neighborhood.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks, NYPD. Anyway, okay, moving on. Next topic: queer baiting.
Oh, this is clearly not my field of anything.
So, okay, did I just take this over? No, did I just completely take over the whole thing with the topics?
That's fine. There's been moments where I talk more, so.
That's true. It's true. Make compilation of that. I'm kidding. I can't. I was going to say, so, everybody knows it's June where, while this is being filmed. I don't know when this goes out.
How every company turns
every company
June.
is rainbow washed. No. That's, the first thing that comes to people's minds. And then not really. There's another for queer baiting. Right now, it's just, rainbow everything. And somebody turned the Chick-fil-A logo into a rainbow. And that's the only one I approve of. Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, because I remember it was a nice.
But if you're Filipino, fried chicken.
Stupid. I remember it was just a nice gesture, a couple years ago.
For a while, and then some of the companies, clothing companies, are coming out with these pride collabs, Converse, Nike, Adidas.
Now they're just trying. Now they're
Everybody's
just
just
trying to make
hopping on
it. Now they're just trying to capitalize on it.
Yeah, even companies that like produce lasers, I like lasers, tasers, and all this shit that like actually, you know, stuff that gets sold to cops.
Happy Pride.
Can we just talk about the irony of cops plus pride?
Oh God!
For those that do not know,
the history.
In 1969 at the Stonewall Inn in New York City, I walked past that a couple weeks ago when I was there with my friends, and so it started all there. The Stonewall Inn was one of those bars that the police have been monitoring because there's suspicious activity there. By suspicious activity, meaning gay, just gay, just people being gay. Like not even cross-dressing, and some of them were.
I need to get that clip of
just gay
of Brandon just saying that. Oh.
So anyway, long story short, a lot of people have had it, and they just like had the raids.
They
like,
had the gay.
They've had it with the gay. No, the gays at Stonewall have pretty much like had it. Like they, you know, they just keep getting raided just because there's gay. Totally like butchering the whole history. I'm like watering it down and squeezing it into a whole explanation. Y'all can fucking Google it. Stonewall Inn if you don't know.
Just trying to give you context here.
So it started out as a fucking riot, okay? Because like as the story goes, Marsha P. Johnson was one of those people that threw the first brick at Stonewall Inn to fight back against police. Like that was the thing. It wasn't just homophobia; it was police being homophobic and violent as usual. So yeah, there's the irony of like fucking taser producing companies and putting the rainbow on their logos. Anyway, so there's another form of queer baiting that a lot of people also know about. It's, you know, if you've ever been a fan of something and, you know, there's like random ships that happen between same-sex characters that weren't supposed to be canon, but like a lot of people in the fandom are like, oh, what if, you know? And then some shows will be like, let's play around with that. And then they'll just like, you know, show a moment where they're like this. No, okay. They're like that, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I love this show again," because they're totally gay. They're gay. They're gay. They're totally gay. But they don't really show it. Like performances too, or you know, as much as I love it, as much as I do love the queer representation in the Avatar universe, Legend of Korra. I think the original idea at the end for them was they were actually just gonna kiss. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go fucking watch it. It's on Netflix. They were supposed to kiss at the end. There were supposed to be two women kissing at the very end. Mm-hmm. But because it was Nickelodeon and producers, I heard stepped in and we were like, no, that's gay. Stop it. Yeah. So they built up this whole like kind of not even romance. It was love.
Yeah, because I was at the end. The way they were talking.
It started sisterly like, and then it just started evolving. Yeah, and you were like, okay, they're gay.
Yeah, when I was watching, I was like, are they?
I was sitting here. I was like,
are they?
Just kiss already. And this was like before the ending. This was like,
I was not satisfied with that ending.
I wasn't because and that's that's why people were like, that's queer baiting because they built this up for us, and then all we get is a hug. I
mean, that's the thing that sucks because I'm pretty sure the creators were like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Let's make do it.
Korra like progressive and fucking just like new, like a new character for representation. Yeah. Then fucking bureaucracy and production companies, because they're afraid of it, and then they just stepped in. This is when productions or producers or whatever big brother companies can get in the way of something potentially. I mean, it was an okay show, but I think something. It's when they get in the way and just fuck shit up.
And then there's also, there's like another part of that spectrum where a company like a production company or whatever, like or a YouTube channel or whatever the fuck would make.
Did you say Yu-Gi-Oh?
YouTube content.
Oh, sorry. A Yu-Gi-Oh
You've
channel.
fallen into my trap card. Okay. And they would, create all this like gay content just for the sake of it, essentially. It's just like, oh, we're gay now. It's like, wait, where did this come from? It would just come out of nowhere. Or whatever, and then like some companies try to are straddling that line a little bit. It's just like, oh, the introducing the first gay. I'm like, okay, do you really mean it, or does it actually fit, or did you just force it? So a lot of times it's kind of forced. It's kind of forced gayness. And then also there's another one where people are being accused of queer baiting without actually doing that. There's these gamer children, Dream, from like the Dream SMP. So it's Dream and this other guy, something George, I believe. I don't know. I'm old. I don't really know who these people are. It was just brought up because I heard about it and I just got angry a little bit. So these two dudes have been saying they are not gay. At least they're not gay for each other. But they have been saying that they are not gay. But, like, okay, you flirt around with your guy friends. You're straight as fuck.
Yeah.
So are your guy friends. Some of them.
Yeah.
And then, like, you guys flirt back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
And like, it's adorable.
Like, yeah, the bro flirting, yeah.
Yeah, the bro flirting. And, like, girls do that, too. We do that to each other, too.
We kiss each other goodnight.
Yeah. Fellas, is it wrong to kiss the homies goodnight? Is it gay to kiss the homies goodnight?
Oh, God.
Listen, dudes should hug more.
Yeah, they should.
Seriously. Dudes should tell each other to love each other more. Anyway, so they were like kind of like just like joking, like flirting around. Like they're not even like, hey, when are we going on a date? Whatever. Like it's just that. They're literally just kind of like bro flirting with each other while they're playing Minecraft. And I just find that adorable. And everyone's just like, oh, that's adorable. But then there are people that are like, they're gay. And then now that people are saying, oh, they're gay. And then the people that don't believe that they're gay are like, they're just queer baiting. It's like, no, they never said they were gay. They never even joked about being gay. They're just...
People really misinterpreting and fucking that up.
Like, why can't two bros just bro out? And like, like this is just an example. And then like, I'll make a joke sometimes when there's like two girls, like two best friends that like would, like they hold hands, they do this a lot or whatever. And then it just... and they're not gay with each other. And they're, it's not like that with them. And, and I just like, oh, lesbians. But no, but they're not. Like, obviously, I know they're not. Lesbians.
Pity.
Or, like the fucking, God. And then there's men who would look at two women existing next to each other. And they're like, lesbian. I'm like, what?
Lesbian.
Why can't two attractive women just sit next to each other, maybe like hug each other without people going, lesbian, they're gonna kiss now? Like, stop. And then it goes back into fetishizing women's bodies. But yeah, I think my point is just stop. Like, also, if you're gonna buy some sort of pride merch this month, give
Make
it
sure
to
it's
an
from
actual
Vision
small...
Paradox. Kidding. We aren't doing that.
No. Give it to a business that actually will donate some of their profits or whatever to LGBTQ plus charities and organizations. Like, don't just buy a rainbow something. Buy a rainbow something that helps out with the rainbow. That helps the rainbow.
Shouts out to the Alphabet Mafia.
Gang. Let's see, what was that last one that I just kind of thought about? Oh, when good intentions go wrong. That's a good one. We probably both talk about. I think I was looking through a bunch of stuff like that. I was looking through a bunch of like makeup stuff, and I heard about this one like super indie makeup company called Amy Lee Cosmetics. Not that Amy Lee. Not Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Oh my God, she's probably getting hated on Twitter.
Cause I'm bro. Okay. Okay, so Amy Lee Cosmetics released a palette called the Survivors palette. I was like, oh, what? I thought it was, I literally just like heard it. I wasn't even watching anything on YouTube. I was doing my nails. So I was trying to concentrate because I had to shape this nail because I broke it. And so like I just like the Survivors palette. So in my brain, the music video for Survivor by Destiny's Child was in my head.
That's what I just...
So it was like, like rugged. Like I was thinking like it was going to be like a nudes, earthy tones, maybe some greens kind of palette with, fucking camo and...
That's what I was... Okay,
right? Like rugged leaves and shit.
Yeah.
Right? And then, shade names would be like, like bonfire or whatever. Like, right? Firewood, whatever the fuck. Tent. Something. Maybe not tent. But, like something like that. I thought it was that. I thought it was like survival knife or whatever. And it turns out, I looked at it. I finally looked up for my nails, and it turns out the packaging was like pretty pastel butterflies and stuff. It's a Survivors palette. And then you open it up and it's like, it looks like a run of the mill. It may be like, I've never seen swatches, but like the colors are like, it's like a blue, a green, and some shimmer, some mattes or whatever. It's like, all right, Run-of-the-mill palette, color story looks fine. And then you look at the shade names.
Why?
Shade names are trigger warning. There's going to be some mentions of things. There's a shade name called suicide.
Yikes.
Cancer. Breast cancer. That was the pink one. So essentially they were doing all these like things. Like the shade names are like suicide. Like anything that there was an awareness ribbon for essentially was a shade on that palette.
They're trying to...
And the intention was to bring awareness. I don't even know if proceeds from that were going to go to any of these like these like organizations or charities or whatever. But those shade names, man, you took something like suicide or like pancreatic cancer or breast cancer, and then you're turning it into an eyeshadow name. Like,
what's on your eye? Breast cancer.
Right? It's like, and you know, and even makeup YouTube was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like,
I could see where they're going for it.
I can see it. Like, I know their
like,
heart was kind of in the right place. I get it.
But it was like...
But at the same time, like, imagine a beauty YouTuber. I don't have a palette on me.
Poorly executed, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like someone goes, all right, so now for my crease, I'm going to go in with, pancreatic cancer.
Yeah. When they're putting this product together, did they like not...
How many people were involved in this? That was like, maybe that's not a good idea.
What company was this?
It's called Amy Lee Cosmetics. It's super indie. Like, I don't want to trash an indie brand.
Okay, but
I'm
wondering like what the process was. And I'm pretty sure that
know.
they had good intentions, poorly
executed. Because you want to talk about someone controversial in the makeup community? Like, okay, maybe not Jeffree Star the person, because Jeffree Star the person is horrible. But Jeffree Star Cosmetics, which just unfortunately is being owned by a piece of shit. But like having owned a lot of those palettes, I can tell you none of those shade names are in any form that fucked up. Like one of them is called Fuck, and that is the most controversial. And like I think one of the most controversial releases was Cremated, because it happened when people were freaking dying.
Oh yeah,
because of the pandemic. But like, as a business, just fucking release the palette. Like, just sell the palette, or else it's gonna expire.
Yeah,
like that was a business decision. Like, it was just unfortunate. But yeah, like I could go through all of it right now. I don't have my palette. Like, but whatever. Like one of them is called Fuck. There was another shade called Bitch, and that was it. Was it,
man?
Like someone like that guy.
I thought for a second, when you said the Survivor palette, I thought they made a palette for like abuse survivors,
and that was there too.
I was like, really?
I think it was some sort of like abuse. I didn't like. I the second they mentioned suicide, I was like, I'm out.
Because I know TikTok, that was a really weird trend too, where they would do their makeup like they were abused. Oh
yeah, they do that all the time. And then there was there's a bunch of other like makeup TikTokers with also good intentions, especially during last summer, like exactly last summer, during the biggest civil rights movement in the history of one of the biggest like civil rights like
movement in history.
Yeah. And there was these people that are not even from this country. Like it's not like Black Lives Matter is only exclusive to the United States. There's Black people everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then there's these people who might have good intentions, or they're probably just trying to ride a trend, somehow trying to ride a hashtag, which that's fucked up, and would put would draw like I can't breathe, or like put it like over here and make it look like a mask.
Are you on a...
There was that one white woman's Instagram. So that part of
that's from Bo Burnham's Inside. So it's a joke.
Please watch it.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Please watch it. It is a work of art.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say. So this then these other non-Black creators are doing this, and then there was another TikTok makeup artist that the art looked amazing, because it was essentially the illusion of like the skin on her neck is being tied in a knot, and then it was like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then she turns on her cheek, it says I can't breathe.
I wonder,
white ass makeup artists, like as pale as this fucking wall, would literally do blackface. It's not like, oh, it's just a bronzer. No, they literally went and found a concealer, a darker foundation, and dark powder, dark everything, and then like hold up, and then like also paint their, like, you know, put makeup on their hands as like they're black, and then have like Black Lives Matter like right here.
I feel don't go blackface or jeez, because I mean I understand the artist part, like doing
listen, if you took a picture as yourself with Black Lives Matter on your wrist, I would take that. I would just rather take that like performative activism, which means absolutely nothing, over blackface. Now you made it worse. Like,
yeah,
it's like saying stop Asian hate, and you like fucking, I don't know, somehow eliminated the crease from your eyes and like did this. Don't fucking do that.
There's also like, no, like in terms of I think the illusion of the rope, I feel like,
because the thing is, I've seen that look done before.
No, like,
and then that person just included the thing.
Because I'm just thinking like maybe the artist, again, intentions going bad. They probably meant well. It's like, oh,
and then they put hashtag Black Lives Matter.
I can use my art to be a voice, and then it just pisses people off.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a line that you draw, because like there's, you know, people will appreciate the support. Like, I obviously cannot speak for Black people, but I can speak for Asian people, kind of. I do appreciate, like, you know, the art. Like, obviously, I'm not expecting everybody to go out and protest. Yeah. There's still a pandemic going on. Like,
steal out your window.
But like, you know, to a point, I appreciate that. Like, is it performative? Sure. A lot of activism is actually performative, and especially at this point, like, you know, a simple hashtag could make or break a whole movement. Yeah, just it brings more awareness. It brings awareness and all that. But there comes a time when, you know, you're already going through all these lengths to try and prove that you're supportive. Why don't you just take some real action now? Like, you're spending all this money on a photographer to go to a protest with you so you can take your fucking cute ass picture and then you can just walk away. You already paid for the photographer. Why can't you just take the money that you paid for your photographer and donate that to charity? Yeah. And donate that to a cause. Like, you know, priorities. Like, for some people that can barely afford it, obviously I'm not going to sit there and like, I mean, I have donated so much of my money. If I had an accountant, my accountant would slap me from all the money I've donated to like charity. And I'm poor. But like, you know, I want to help, and I don't want to just ride a hashtag, even though I am bringing awareness to things. I am, you know, semi-educating people that don't know any better. But I also want to, like, I feel like a donation directly to a cause affects more change than me sitting here, like, telling, like, you know, just telling people about like the history of this and why it's such a big deal and blah, 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 when I know they won't fucking listen. Like, why spend that energy? But at the same time, like, you know, I'm not going to like go on Instagram and like take a bunch of pictures. I did that last year. I made a bunch of stuff to go with posts that I have. So it was like, you know, it was like, what was I doing? Oh yeah. When I have like my food pictures, especially last year, I was cooking a lot and baking a lot. And I was like, oh, swipe for recipe. No, it wasn't a recipe. It was like a phone number to call. It was an email to send to you know, to send to, or whatever. It was a politician's phone number. It was like a website. It was a charity. It was always that. Like, I was, you know, because the thing is that because people were getting fatigued to a point because of all this. Because of there's well-intentioned people just trying to bring awareness, and then there's other semi-well-intentioned people but don't know what else to do. And so they just sit there and try to make it about them. So I was just like, okay, well, people are getting sick of seeing it on their feeds, especially on Instagram. So the first thing you see is another phone number. It's another this, like, blah, blah, blah. And I don't understand why people are sick of it. I'm not. I'm always like, is there anyone else I can call? Is there another senator I can bug? Like, you know, and, you know, for me, I'm like, all right, fine, then I'll work with it. Here's a fucking recipe. JK, no, it's not. Call this number now.
It's a bait and switch.
Bait and switch. Like, at this point, you know what? If people are clickbaiting on fucking YouTube and Instagram for the stupid shit, why don't I clickbait for things that matter? Yeah. They're, but yeah, I don't know. What else is your take on
I mean,
good intentions going wrong? Because like it's all like, you know, we kind of like got into the space of just all causes and all this stuff, but like about like normal things.
Good
like if you're just
intentions
trying
going
to
bad.
help someone.
I don't know. I feel like I've experienced it with just normal everyday stuff. When people try to help when it's not helping, I think I've experienced that primarily probably with my mom.
What?
And like when she tries to help, it doesn't help, and it's like,
At least she tries to help.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And it's
Yeah,
one of
she
those. It's
tries
like
to
at least
help.
she's trying.
Yeah, that's true. So I used to lash out when people's bad helping was not helping, and I think I've gotten better in communicating it, or just
You don't have to accept help that's not working.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
So God, I don't know. I'm trying to find it in myself. Like, I know, because I'm pretty sure that there are moments where I've tried to help, it just didn't help and just made it worse.
Yeah.
But I can't really recall off the top of my head.
I mean, I'm kind of guilty of that too. You know, like with sometimes when I don't know what to say, especially when a friend like opens up to me, and I'm not used to being the one that people trust for things. So when a friend opens up to me, and you know, and I know that they want more than just "I'm sorry, bud."
Sorry, bud.
Even though that's the only thing I can offer, and I don't want to sit there and like lecture them like, why are you coming to me? You know I can't help. But I think me trying to help, I was like, you know what? I'll try something. You know, I'll actually try to help this time. I'll actually try to be a better friend. And you know, it wasn't like I didn't make anything worse or anything, but it wasn't helping.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't helping. I was just like sitting there and, you know, regurgitating more facts to make them feel like worse about it, but they needed to hear it. But at the same time, like that probably wasn't the time.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you just reminded me, like, previous relationships, and even with you, like, I had to learn to not fix it, even though I had every intention to help, but fixing it is not. No, it's not. Yeah, like, I just need you to listen.
Have you had people like tell you like stop, just tell me it sucks, and then let me talk?
The only people that I've experienced that was with Steph and then you, and then and I've only gotten aware that because of therapy. Mm-hmm. So, and then when people come to me, I ask. Like,
so you're not my therapist. This is like, why I just need you to go. That sucks.
Yeah, my therapist like straight up said
my therapist will tell me what to do.
Like my therapist also like said like sometimes they don't need you to fix it. Sometimes they just need you to be like, that sucks. Yeah.
So, see that episode of Parks and Rec? When fucking what's her face was pregnant, and then Chris Traeger was trying to fix everything because she's like, oh, my feet hurt, my nipples hurt, blah blah blah, and she's getting annoyed because he's just trying to help, literally
trying to do my best here.
And then everyone's just like, just tell her, just look her in the eye and say that sucks. That's it. And that's all she needed. She just wanted to whine. Sometimes people just want to complain. People just want to vent.
They need to
vent. People want to get it out. And sometimes, you know, and especially because I don't want a solution to it, I'll do it to a friend, not my therapist, because my therapist will be like, here's a solution. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do it, because I wasn't ready for a solution. I just wanted to get it out of my brain, or else I will explode.
Yeah. And then
I know I've yelled at you.
when people have asked me like when to get to talk, like I do my best to, at least. I don't do it always the time. I like, do you need someone to listen, or do you want some insight while we're talking? And I think we
started doing that with me too.
So, just to make sure like where I should stand in this space, because like especially when I try to fix, I think of a million solutions, but then it's like, you know, I'm pretty sure if you knew the solution, or you wanted to do that solution, or you would have done it already. Yeah. But like with Bernie, we when she asked for some support, you know, I had to make sure that
you asked, like, do you want solutions?
I had consent to give solutions, because I mean, I know I get annoyed with unsolicited advice or help. Yeah. And I've gotten to the point where I just like give them the up down and be like, next. And I intentionally do those things so they can, because telling them to F off or just is not as mean as a mean, like, because it's just psychologically, like I look down and up and they're like,
It's like, I'm not taking that from you.
Yeah, even I learned that when going out, like when I had to deal with douchebags, I'd look at them and be like, I just not continue in that conversation, because that is so much more like, I feel like that's a sword to the heart.
Audio right now.
And I feel like it's such a meaner way to communicate through that way versus like fuck off, because then that gives them
an opportunity to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, I think that those are some of the things at the top of my head in terms of trying to help.
Yeah, I guess with like interpersonal relationships or whatever, it's always been that. It's just, you know, it's, you never know if they want you to help them with something, or if they just want you to listen, because most of the time listening helps. Letting them vent it to someone that they trust is more than enough help.
Yeah, because I've been obsessed with a cinema therapy lately.
Oh my god! Same.
We've been what is it? There's this one. I forget. There's so much. I watched the one where they were reacting to Twilight.
Okay.
and they were talking about all the red flags.
Oh, Edward's red flags.
Like all the red flags, and you're still like going with them. But anyways, like they're talking about how a lot of people always argue that they want to be heard, but they never want to do the listening.
Yeah.
And that's like the part, because that means you have to be vulnerable to just take it, to listen and just be present with that. And that part can be triggering, or it can be boring, or it's just that it's the part where you can't do anything. Yeah. It's just like sit and listen, and that's literally, like, I think for those of you who really want to understand your loved ones or your friends or even more, just fucking listen to the shit out of them. That's what my chemistry teacher taught back in summer school, like chem class. I think it's junior year or sophomore year, and he was like, if you want people to love you, if you want people to like really think you're the greatest person in the world, just listen. Let them do all the talking. Yeah, and he was like, how do you think I got my wife? I let her talk. I listen. And he was like,
and actually look like you're listening.
Yeah, and actually be actively listening. And there's a whole bunch of tutorials. I already have a video on that on this channel.
So go look for it, or in the description.
Yeah, and and I liked him. He actually, like, aside from teaching chemistry, he would somehow make it connect to life and philosophy. I'm like, and I really liked chemistry because of that.
No, I just love chemistry because it's a good science.
Yeah. Well, I was an artist trying to listen to chemistry. I'm like,
I love chem. It's fine.
But yeah. Anything else? All right. So that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this live episode of ATP, our little 2-camera setup and semi-working lighting. And and hopefully, once Max comes to the West Coast forever and ever, we'll definitely be doing more of these. But anyways, if you guys liked it, make sure to hit like, subscribe, share this with friends who think might enjoy it. And with that, give us a follow on Instagram or on TikTok or wherever. I'm slightly tired, but majority hungry, so we're gonna go eat, and we're
eating carbs.
Yes, it's also our cheat day. So with that, we appreciate you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Beep.